Hi guys, welcome back. I've been after a Omega watch for a long time on eBay, looking for one that's a reasonable price, just to get myself into an Omega watch. But they always go for more money than I was prepared to pay. I bid on multiple watches, even ones that weren't working, just to see if I could get hold of one. And finally, I managed to win one. I put a bid on this watch, and I think I just left it, and was quite surprised when I got the alert that I'd actually won it. So here we go. This is the watch. I'll take it. This is the box that it came in. The chap sent to me. It's an Omega Quartz DeVille. I think it's approximately 1977, around that time. It's gold plated. And it's quite a big watch for a 1970s watch. Now, this was sold as seen. It didn't detail what was wrong with it. There was no pictures of the movement or anything like that. So I took a complete risk on this. Buying it, I thought the worst comes to worst, it doesn't work. It's got value, and it got me into a Omega watch. And maybe Apache would sort it out. I knew that was a very low chance of that actually happening. But I thought it was worth the risk, and just to add one to my collection. So the ad wasn't particularly very good. A couple of photos, it looked a little bit, like it needed a clean up, which it did once it arrived. So obviously the first thing I did was remove the back and have a look at the movement. Now, there was a little bit of green on the connectors. So I think maybe it had water ingress. So what I did is after cleaning the watch up itself and giving it a good polish, because it was a bit grotty, it's come up very nice. I mean, it's gold plated. It's nearly 50 years old, isn't it? Something around there. And there's a little bit of wear to the gold plating, but it's actually in very good shape overall, especially the watch itself. Yeah, it's come up very nicely. So I'll get the back off and I'll explain to you what happened next. So when I had the back off, I changed the battery. I'd already ordered a battery for it before the watch came. So as soon as the watch came, I had the battery sitting there, so I didn't have to waste time. Obviously popped it back in and it's not working. But what I have done is I gave the movement a bit of a clean with some acetone on a cotton bud, because just to the right of the battery there was a little bit of green on those contacts, which cleaned straight up. I mean, it's come up very, very nicely. I was hoping maybe it would work, but I think there must be damage to the chip. I'm no expert. I have no clue exactly what's happened, but I'm just guessing. The power isn't getting to where it needs to be. Because on these, to change the time, you pull out the crown to move the hour hand around. But to change the minute time, you press in. There's a little button inside the crown that you press in with a baro or something like that. And then the minute hand will propel round, and you just stop it on the precise minute you need to stop it on. And that's how you set the time. But we've got no power going to the minute hand there. But it does look in very, very good shape. So I think it could be fixable, but to get this fixed, take it to a specialist is probably going to be hundreds of pounds. I mean, if you take it to Omega, you know, it's going to be a lot of money. I'm sure they can fix it. Now, the watch cost me £87. So I think it's a good price for the watch. But all singing and dancing, working, it's probably going to be worth anywhere between £300 and maybe £500, depending. So probably 300-400 maximum, I would say £500. So to spend hundreds of pounds getting it working is not cost effective for me. But if I do sell it on in the future, it's a lovely watch, it's nice and clean. Someone who knows what they're doing, who's perhaps a bit more of a specialist in this type of thing, they could fix it obviously a lot cheaper, and then they've got a good watch on their hands. Now, it looks so nice, even though it's not working. I couldn't resist. Yeah, I couldn't resist actually wearing it out one evening, just so I could go out for an evening with a Omega on my wrist, and also to show a friend of mine. And because it hasn't got a second hand ticking around, I set the hour to approximately what the time was. And I kind of forgot that it wasn't working. You just wear it and appreciate you've got this lovely thing on your wrist. So I'll put it on my wrist now, show you what it looks like. So on the wrist, my 6.5-inch wrist, it's got quite a lot of micro adjustment on the clasp. When it arrived, it was too big for me, and I thought I may have to take some links out, but I just adjusted it on the micro adjustment with the pins, putting it onto its smallest setting, and I'm good to go. Yeah, that's fitting me very nicely. I like this clasp. It's got like a bit of a parallel or horizontal, is that? Yeah, horizontal grain, depending which way you look at it, parallel up, horizontal. Try to zoom in there, which gives it, there you go. I don't know if you can see the grain on the clasp there. It's a nice touch. Kind of the time, I think, as well. Yeah, so I wore this one evening, and, you know, it looks good as a piece of jewellery. Not many people are wearing this style of watch at the moment, the TV kind of screen style face and the gold. You know, most people are stainless steel nowadays. So it's something you're not going to see too many people wearing. I quite like it, especially if you've got a bit of a tan in the summer. It's going to suit it better. It's a shame it's not working, but for my £87, I got to wear an Omega for the evening, even if it wasn't showing the right time. But that's what your phone's for, right? If I need to know the time, I can get my phone out. I probably won't wear it again. It was just to experience wearing it for a while, and it was an enjoyable evening. So, what do I do with it? I'll probably keep it, because I think it's a good investment. Omegas seem to be going up in value. So even one that's not working is still going to have an investment, part of that, even though it's not working. Obviously, there's a cost to fix it, but the actual watch itself is still going to go up in value, hopefully. I think for £87, I haven't done too badly. I can't imagine getting one much cheaper than that. And I was looking for a good year, bidding on lots of different watches, and they were always going higher than I wanted to pay. So I think just from the experience of that, I think I got this at quite a good price, because I see that they go, I've seen them go higher, even non-working Omegas. So there you go. I finally got myself an Omega. I'd like to get a working one next, but I'm doing this on a budget, not wanting to spend too much money, trying to get myself a little vintage watch collection together on a budget. And now I've got an Omega, I've got a Tudor, I've got a Longines, I've got a Tissot, a Bulova. So I've got a few names now. All the others are working. This is the only one that's not working. There goes. I hope you enjoyed this video. And keep tuned for more videos on vintage watches that I've purchased on eBay. I've got some more which are coming. Take care.